Hello everyone and welcome to Apex Racing TV. My name is Ryan Walker and on the cameras with me is Marco Barbonera. Sam Fitzpatrick isn't here at the moment, but he will be joining us for race 2. Tonight sees us at the wonderful Silverstone circuit, and we will be using the GP layout just in the middle of qualifying at the moment. So yeah, as qualifying is running at the moment, we'll go through the point standings review.
Yes, they should be on the screen, so there you go.
At the moment, our championship leader is Chris Wood with 1,601 points. Jamie Ayers in second place with 1,503 points. Third place is Ronald Moons with 1,491 points. Fourth place is Dennis Meltzer and with 1,469 points, I forgot to say. And in fifth place is Max Wright with 1,452 points. So yeah, Marco, any experiences with Silverstone, and is it good experiences, bad experiences? What's your thoughts?
It was the very first round I did in the BSR MX5 Cup a few months ago, even though it was on a shorter layout, the southern layout. So, I'm not much of a road racer, but I still think that this is one of the greatest tracks in the world, especially this version here. I don't particularly like the newer version, which is coming to iRacing soon, but still, it's one of the best tracks in the world. You see the fast section there, the SS Magos Beckett's, and of course Cops Corner, always fantastic, and then the beautiful section under the bridge there towards the end of the lap. So, and I mean, it's the BSR, so this is basically the home track for the series, or one of the home tracks. So I think it's going to be a fantastic night. Sam Fitzpatrick will join us later tonight for race 2 and race 3. I mean, we are in for a great evening of racing, I think, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Silverstone for me, it's just one of those tracks that, even though it's the old layout, it always seems to provide great racing. Qualifying is just running at the moment. I'm just going to take a look at the live timing to see who's where at the moment. Current pole position at the moment is Josh Thompson. Second at the moment is Carl E. Janssen. Third place at the moment is Chris Daines. Fourth place is Chris Wood. Jamie Ayers currently fifth. At the moment, my live time is messing up, but at the moment, according to my live timing, it says Adam McNally is currently sixth. So, yeah, just looking at the lap times as well, it looks like we could be in for some close racing tonight, judging by the lap times, Marco.
I think so. I mean, all these drivers know this track really well. Just, we were saying before, it is the home track for BSR, and many series that they run do this track multiple times per season. So all these drivers are very familiar with the track, and when drivers are familiar with the track and we have a fixed setup race with everybody in the same car, that is the perfect recipe, I think, for some good close racing.
Yep, absolutely. As just looking to see how many cars we've got tonight at the moment. It looks like we've only got 20 cars at the moment, which is not really a surprise considering there's other league racing going on at the moment. I believe, if I'm correct, Marco, the Neo Endurance Series 6 Hours of Sebring is currently racing today, so that might be one of the reasons for maybe a low turnout this evening.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a possibility. Of course, endurance event, so a lot of the drivers not only involved as drivers, but also as they are involved as spotters or just keeping company to their teammates. Very long race there, but still 20 drivers, a good turnout, I think, in the end, considering also another important event going on right now. So, I mean, I think we are still in for a very good night of racing. As you see, Josh Thompson pushing hard, maybe a little bit too hard, trying to get to better his time in pole position. And also we see right now Carl Janssen, who kept us company today during the iRacing the iRacing Championship Series. I don't remember the name. Oh man, I'm terrible today. But yeah, he was also keeping us company during the F1 race earlier today, or the Grand Prix Championship, of course, race won by Riccardo Orozco. You can catch the replay of that race on our YouTube page, of course, in the archive section. So, 1 minute left in qualifying. Of course, it is a league race, so difference with iRacing regular schedule series. If the drivers are able to cross the start-finish line before the checker flag drops, they will have the possibility to finish their lap. So it's not over. You see, using all of the track is Kari Jansson here. He's on the start-finish line. Let's see if he can improve on his time. He can't, and that is a very, very big hit. Doing also... Oh, look at that. I forgot about our very own Samuel Kumo. Here he is, P7, of course, the defending champion. He had a tough race at Imola, tough meeting at Imola. In Le Mans, he had a good start, but then, you know, maybe a little bit of rust, you know. In the second part of the race at Le Mans and the endurance race, he made one mistake too many, I think, and then he dropped down a bit. But still, he's one of the faster drivers out there, and he still could be a threat, especially in one of the reverse grids later today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, similarly, yeah, as you say, had a good start at Le Mans, and then just in the last part of the race, he just seemed to he made some mistakes. Nothing, not big mistakes, but he just seemed to lose some time or lose some pace, but yeah, he still managed to finish the race, and they finished in P5 or P6, I believe. I can't remember, but it was in the top 10 anyway, and it was still a good race for Simuli. So yeah, he managed to gain some valuable points for the championship.
Speaking of the new endurance series, as qualified draws to an end, a notable absentee tonight, of course, is Ferenc Kern, one of the faster drivers in the championship. Is involved with our very, very own Alex Simpson in the with Apex Racing UK driving in the championship. I don't know. I mean, I think the race started because, you know, sometimes people are able to get in for race 2 and race 3, but I don't remember when the race started. So, and you know, maybe after 6 hours of tough racing around Sebring, the last thing you do is to get into the mix with 20 other very, very angry Porsche Cup drivers. So I don't know. I'm speculating we might see him a little bit later. I don't know. But still, Carl Hardy trying to finish the lap. I think he's the last driver. Maybe not. Maybe there's also Sam Kumo still on the track. Yes, here he is, but he's very, very slow. I don't think he's going to post a significant lap time. Yes, he's already in the 2 minutes, so he heads for the pits. Then is Melchert. He is also he aborted this his lap. So I think the grid is almost sorted. So in a few seconds, when the session switches over, we will be ready to show you the starting grid and get ready for this first race. Remember, 3 races tonight, so it's going to be an evening full of action with, of course, reverse grids in race 2 and race 3, with race 3 having 35 minutes and a mandatory pit stop. So of course that will also be a nice change of pace for these guys. Just a few seconds left, and then we will be ready to show you the starting grid.
Yep, absolutely. So excuse me, what's your predictions for race 1, Marco? Anyone you have in particular?
Well, it's very tough to bet against Josh Thompson. I mean, he's a very quick driver, has proven to be, you know, a driver that can win in any car, in any track. Kari Jansson starting in second place could also be dangerous, and I think also Chris Daines and Chris Wood, championship contenders.
Yep, I'll quickly go through the grid for you. Pole position is Josh Thompson, closely followed by Kari Jansson in second. Third place is Chris Daines, followed by Chris Wood from Team Mad. Fifth place is Jamie Ayres, and rounding out the top 6 is Adam McNally from Youth Energy Racing.
Yes, you can see all the other drivers on your screen right now, scrolling through the grid. see a couple of interesting names. For example, Jim Flanagan, Lee Woodburn, they also Anthony Jacobson starting a little bit farther back than usual. Some drivers that are always exciting, like Ralph Cullinan also, and Ronald Moons, the winner of the Simmortal prize draw. I think it was 2 weeks ago on a Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. He won a Simmortal diecast. Speaking of Simmortal, of course, pole position is Josh Thompson driving for Simmortal with Carl Jansson right besides him. These two are teammates. I will update the graphics in time for race 2, because right now they are shown as not teammates, but I can assure you they are sporting the same livery. So just a few seconds, we are missing Ralph Cullinan from the grid. I don't know if he has to serve a penalty with a pit lane start or not, or maybe he's just making these guys wait just a little bit as to get everything sorted. 5 seconds away from the starting lights, I think.
Just wait for the
we are
lights
ready.
to come on.
Yep.
Here we go. 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and go. Thompson gets a good start off the line, but closely followed by Jansson. Danes is in third, trying to get by Jansson. Yeah, as they head down into turn 1. I wonder if anything will happen.
Looking good through the first corner.
Jansson sideways.
But a moment there, and also look at that.
Background.
I think that was Dennis Melchert leaving the track momentarily as Danes goes around Jansson, and I think he's got the position. It was a fantastic battle to open the race. Of course, Thompson is profiting from this, and also behind them is Wood trying to get a good run on these two guys. But I think Danes will go for a move here on the right-hander, covering a bit is Jansson, but it's not enough.
Danes up the inside of Jansson. Danes is a little bit wide, and Jansson slips back up the inside.
Great beginning of the race, and I think Jansson has got the position, so that was a great move by Jansson to defend himself and not giving up. And now Danes has to watch in his mirrors, because here comes Chris Wood.
Yep. What these guys battling is doing is allowing Josh Thompson, our leader, to slowly but surely try and get away. And yeah, on board with Chris Wood at the moment, who's had a good start, and behind Chris Wood is Jay Mayers. So yeah, just looking through the field as well. Oh, contact!
We have a crash. I
wonder if you can get a replay of that.
Yeah, I think it was Steve Hefford and Daniel Kirby. Let's get a replay of that.
Yeah, on board with Hefford, I believe it is. Just looking to see what happened.
It was a roadblock there, basically, and this, the section of the track is a bit, going up the hill, so these drivers didn't expect that, I think. And when you find a roadblock there in that kind of situation, it's always problematic, as the first lap is in the books.
Just watching Samuel Kumo, and he just ran a little bit wide on the exit of turn 1, but managed to get away with it. Yeah, good start by Kumo, currently P6 at the moment. Behind him is Adam McNally, followed by Michael Blake, and Richard Taines, who's that? Richard Taines, yep. And followed by Dennis Meltzer, who rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, we saw some flashing there. I think it was from Carl Jansson, flashing at his teammates, maybe, I have no idea. Even though, Thompson is quite... But, they are trading purple sectors. They traded purple sectors in the first lap. Let's see, in the second lap. Of course, Thompson fastest lap of the race, but it was the first lap, so doesn't count. We'll see in the second lap. Jansson is trying to both distance himself from Danes and try to close the gap on his teammate. In the meantime, Wood... is has fallen a little bit behind in comparison to Danes. So the first 4 places seem a little bit in a frozen situation at the moment, but we know in this championship anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the field to see if there's any other battles at the moment, but it seems that everyone's everyone's settled down at the moment. I believe there's only one retirement possibly, or someone in the pits. What says Daniel Kirby? Daniel Kirby. Yep, I believe that's him.
And Jansson has just posted the fastest lap of the race as we begin race 3. Sorry, lap 3, of course. Jansson is, showing that he's quite a bit faster than, not by a lot, but still. He took 1/10 of a second away from his teammate there, so definitely not a walk in the park for Thompson, as I might have predicted. Jansson showing some very, very good pace. I think also he participated in many rounds of the V8 supercars, European V8 supercars, and he was very quick there as well. And still flashing his lights on the backstretch towards his teammate, trying to put on the pressure, maybe even a little bit of some intra-team shenanigans, but you can see Jansson is really, really closing the gap on Thompson.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, these guys are, I believe, they're teammates as well. So, I believe they're teammates at Radicals Racing. So, yeah, I wonder if these guys will maybe have a plan together. If they not to battle too hard. If Jansson gets a run on Thompson, then they won't fight each other too much, but we'll just need to wait and see. I seen Jansson flashing as well, so I don't know if he's been going to the Stuart McFadden flashing school.
Yeah, Stuart McFadden not here tonight, by the way. So I don't know if he's also racing in the endurance race at Sebring, but still closing the gap. Let's see the times this time around on the start-finish line as Josh Thompson crosses the line. And his time should be on your screens in just a few seconds. 48.2, 48.1, and then the fastest lap this time around is from Danes, 48.1. But all the top 3 guys are lapping nearly identically, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking at the lap times, and these top 4 guys seem to be evenly matched on pace as we look back through the field to see Woodburn and Hefford battling for P16. Hefford's got a run up the inside, and he could grab P16 into this twisty section of the track, and he does indeed.
Yeah, great move, easy move, and he gets P16 for his effort. Now a long climb because Dimmer is 7 seconds in front. So all these cars, I think, affected by that first lap pile-up at the bridge section.
Yep, so just looking back up towards the top 10 at the moment, just watching Michael Blake at the moment, and he has got Dennis Melcher behind him in 10th position, putting him under pressure, and then in front of both of these guys we've got Haynes and McNally. So yeah, it's really close. Really close throughout the field in the top 10.
At the front, up now down to 0.3 of a second between Thompson and Jansson. We'll see if these 2 guys will battle, or if there will be some courtesy between the teammates.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think these guys are in the same team in this series. But outside of this series, I believe they're in the same team. So as you say, there might be a bit of as Jansson flashes again. That's a legal son. So yeah, just looking throughout the field at the moment. It seems to be a bit spread out at the moment. So yeah, it's I was expecting to be a lot more action at the stage of the race.
Yeah, sometimes we know the race 1 is the calmer one, and then from race 2. We see situations that explode, as we see right now. Melchert trying to close in on Blake, but at the front is extremely close. Locking the brakes there is Thompson.
Jansson right behind Thompson.
Very, very close. Little bit of a contact there.
Right. Oh, Jansson's right on the bumper of Thompson.
They have to be careful, Ryan, if they battle and give them each other too much trouble. Look behind them because Chris Danes is getting closer and closer.
Yep, I was just about to bring me on to my next point as well. If these guys start scrapping away, it could give Chris Danes a chance to close up to him and make it a freeway fight for the win.
On the inside, Jansson goes for the pass, but it is not enough. Not enough space there. Also, not forcing the issue, but you know, Jansson tapped the back of Thompson there at the chicane. Look how close he is. I mean, he can't get any closer basically there. Now, of course, on the straight, the gap increases just a little bit. But using the draft and, of course, a better exit speed, Jansson is closing once again on his teammate there.
Yep, Jansson's closed the gap on Thompson massively, so I don't know if, as Jansson flashes again, I don't know if Thompson's got any damage or if he's just struggling. Oh, that was
that was extremely close to getting a slowdown.
Yeah, that was a bit of a cut, Josh. Yeah, it's a good battle between these two at the moment, and yeah, Danes is slowly but surely closing up on these guys, so it won't be long before this is a freeway fight for the win as Jansson takes a wee sneaky look up the inside.
Yeah, feinting on the inside, then moving on the outside, then back on the inside. Thompson stands his ground. Now he has to defend on the inside.
Jansson
there.
Taking a sneaky look again.
Once again, then inside first and then on the outside. Of course, here it is a question of getting a good exit.
Oh, Jansson was so close to nudging the rear of Thompson. Yeah, it seems to be Jansson seems to close up under braking, but it seems that Thompson has the better exit on some of these corners. So it's a bit of a how do I describe it? A bit of give and take at the moment.
A bit on board with Jansson. See, you are right, closing a lot in the corners, then fighting with this car. Like every driver is, you know, this car is particularly rewarding to drive, even for a, you know, not a good driver like myself, because it poses a challenge. Every time you take a corner, you come out of a corner, the brakes are very tough. It is very tail happy when you push the gas pedal. You can never relax while you drive this car, and on top of that you also have to defend from another driver, so Josh Thompson is in a very, very tough predicament right now. Also, quickly in the back you see a bit of a mistake from Sam Kumo, and he's under pressure from Janiers.
Right behind these two as well as Adam McNally, so yeah, these guys have to be careful. Oh, contact!
And Kumo is in the grass. And he lost another position. That would be a slowdown. But we quickly cut once again to these two guys battling it out. So the moment of, you know, I wouldn't say bad luck, but still for some, still a question of getting back up to speed after a long layoff. Look at that! Jansson on the inside.
Oh, this is awesome.
Putting on a fantastic show, these two guys. Oh, look at that!
Oh, Jesus. Oh, bouncing. Oh! Bouncing over the grass. Oh!
Oh, no! Look at that. And Jansson got the move.
Jansson on the inside.
Will there be a crisscross?
I'm not even racing and my butt cheeks are clenching.
Oh, man, that was fantastic. Fantastic move by Kari Jansson, and he's able to get first position over Josh Thompson, and look at that, because Chris Danes has most definitely joined the party, Ryan, and he will try to get a move on Josh. We'll see, because we all know Josh is not going to let this go unpunished. He wants to get that first position back.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh will be fired up after that, and also the Carl and Josh battling away has gave Chris Danes a chance to catch up to them. So yeah, we're on for a freeway fight for the win. On what are we on at the moment? Lap 8, and you've got about I'm not sure how much time we've got remaining, but this is awesome.
7 minutes.
Racing.
Yeah, 7 minutes. So look at that. Thompson is really struggling. I mean, this is uncharacteristic for him. For him, because he usually start the race and disappear in the horizon. Not today. He got passed by his teammate, and now look at that, because Chris Danes right on board with him. Let's get the battle box up. You see the gaps in real time between these three competitors, putting on a fantastic show in race 1. Of course, remember the reverse is going to come into play later, as I dare to cut just 1 second from the action, because I think that Sam Kumo got passed by McNally and then passed McNally back. Let's get a replay.
Yep. Just looking at the replay now. Yep, McNally runs wide and Kumo is there to pick up the pieces, and as McNally fights back, and can Samuli hold it on the outside? Yes, he can. Nice move by Samuli, and yeah, back up into P6.
Oh, there was also there, look at that, Blake, Melchert, all battling together also with McNally as well. I mean, the action has really exploded all of a sudden here in race 1 of the BSR Porsche Cup tonight. And also we are seeing in the back some other battling with Max Wright. Look at this, Dimmer, Wright, Haynes.
This is awesome stuff. It's yeah, as you say, it seems to have spiced up as they've just as we're on lap 9 at the moment, and yeah, awesome. This is an awesome battle between Dimmer, Wright, and Richard Haynes. So yeah, the spicing up throughout the field, and I think these guys have been watching the battle up at the front with Janssen, Thompson, and Danes, and just decided that yeah, we should be more like them.
Let's stay a bit with these guys. Wright is trying to close the gap on Dimmer. The grey car and the, I think, maroon car right behind him. These two guys, and with Haynes losing contact in 14th position. Let's see if Wright goes for a lunge. Yep,
if Wright can stay behind Dimmer and stay right behind him as they head onto the straight, I think Wright might be able to get a run on Dimmer and see if he can maybe pick up another position and try and pick up P12.
Also, Haynes was able to close the gap in that first section, but then on the straight he seems to lose a bit of time. But I don't think there is enough... oh, look at that, somebody locked the tires. It was Jim Flanagan there. As the battle continues right behind these guys. We haven't forgotten about the battle at the front. 0.5 of a second between Janssen and Thompson. 0.4, so we'll go back there right now.
Yep, these two are close again, I should say. Yeah, I think Joss might be Joss might be a bit fired up after that. So yeah, I think we could be on for a battle for the win, right to the checkered flag, as we look back through the field to see Melchert, McNally, and Blake all close together, and yeah, this is the battle for, at the moment, this is the battle for P7.
Only 3 minutes left in this race. One lap is around 1 minute 47, 1 minute 48. So we'll see if these guys will get the white flag or not, with McNally looking on the inside of Melchert, and also looking behind because there's Blake trying to profit from all of this.
Yep.
And I have to say, Ryan, some very, very close racing, but some very clean racing. I think the only contact we had was that contact with Samuli earlier. So some very, very... Oh, I think a problem for Danes. Oh yes, that is not good for Chris Danes. So he's temporarily in the lead, but of course he has to redress back to P3. We'll have a massive slowdown. I don't think that Chris Wood is going to be able to catch up to him.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be a massive slowdown possibly, but luckily Chris Danes has got a gap behind him as we look back up to the front with Janssen and Thompson, and I believe we could... I think we've got this lap and then the next lap, another lap to go, I believe.
Yes, I think so. I think it's going to be 2 laps. Let's see, because they are going to cut it very, very close. Let's see when the counter starts and goes to lap 11. I tell you what, this might be the final lap, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say...
Oh, Sam Kumo in the gravel.
Yeah, I wonder what happened there. Yeah, he was right behind who's I believe it's Jamie Ayres at the time, and oh, it was contact between the two of them. It caused Simuli to spin.
Yeah, very weird contact there. Now,
I,
is this the white flag or not? We will know, well, in a bit, I think.
I think it could be tight. As Josh has got a run on Carl, is he going to try and sneak up the inside? Nope, he just sneaks out and just shows his nose as Janssen locks up a little bit into the corner. He gets sideways. As yeah, they're both side by side into the cup, heading up to his left hander. Can Janssen keep the inside line? Josh tries to go for a switchback possibly. I believe he could be. I think it will be close, but I think we might go. The next lap could be the last lap, depending on how much time's left as they come up to the line.
Oh, great line there from Thompson. He will have.
Oh, great switchback!
Oh.
Awesome! Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! Oh, don't boys! No, don't do it, boys!
Oh, Janssen keeps the lead, but for how long? And will this be the final corner of the race? We will know in about 15 seconds.
Will be tight.
Of course, they're slowing each other because of the battle, so I think this is it for the race.
It is. Final lap. Go on, Carl Janssen. Well done, son.
What a fantastic race. Chris Danes is in third position. And Wood will finish fourth with Jamie Ayres defending from Melchert the fifth place. What a fantastic race one, Ryan.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Absolutely awesome. As yeah, we'll watch the rest of the field coming up to the line. Samuel Kumo's challenging Flanagan, Moon, sorry, for P9, and he gets it.
Oh.
As yeah, I think that's Lee Deemer spun, but
it is Lee Deemer. Let's see what happened.
I think he got oh
no, on the power too early.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it. Oops, sorry.
Let's watch it from the gearbox camera. This will provide to be.
I wonder if it's netcode or if he just got in the power to it. Oh, it's just Lee just lost it all on his own.
We're also missing Lee Woodburn. Here he comes.
And I think we've just got one more car to wait for, which is Carl Hardy, as he comes up to the line. And after he crosses the line, I think we'll go through the results for race one of the first race of this evening.
Yes, they should be on your screen momentarily. And here we go.
Yep. So yeah, Carl Janssen takes out race one, the first race of the season, and wins race one. Josh Thompson finishes in second place after an awesome battle between the two of them. Chris Danes finishes in third place. Chris Wood in fourth place, closely followed by Jamie Ayres. And then Dennis Meltzer finishes in sixth. Behind him is Michael Blake, and then behind him, Michael Blake is Adam McNally in eighth place. Simuli Kumo, despite his issues, finishes in ninth place, and rounding at the top 10 is Ronald Moons, finishing in 10th place.
Yes, you see the rest of the results on your screen right now, and only one driver will not be eligible for the reverse. It's going to be Daniel Kirby. So we have 19 drivers available for the reverse, and let's get the wheel on the screen, shall we?
Yep, it's I believe that's your favourite moment of the evening, Marco, is spinning the wheel.
It is. I really missed it last week when we had the endurance race, but the wheel should be on your screen, so let's roll it. Okay, it's going to be 15. So, I think the pole position will be Lee Deemer in first place and Steve Efford starting in second. So, we will be back in just a few minutes, going to the commercial break, and hopefully Sam Fitzpatrick will join us for the second race of the evening here, the BSR Porsche Cup from Silverstone. Catch you in a bit.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing!
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside as Trunkgate goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's Howling down to the inside.
Trying this contact though.
Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact. He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Last year, I was sitting at a desk as a sales manager, and now I'm official McLaren F1 simulator test driver.
So it's 1.4 behind.
This opportunity is huge.
That's faster than the factory McLaren driver, and he's done 6 laps.
Team racing allows multiple iRacing members to team up and race together, just like in real-world endurance series. Teammates can share driving duties, spot for one another, or be a crew chief. Team racing is free both to join a team and to create one. Each teammate races on his or her own computer from wherever they want to. Your teammates can be anywhere in the world, and changing drivers mid-race is as easy as a click of a button. iRacing features team endurance events ranging from just a couple of hours to 24 hours in length. So, if you fancy taking part in an iRacing endurance race in the future, you can learn more about team racing on the teams page on the member website. Before you can get on track, you'll need to calibrate your wheel and pedal set. You'll need to do this in iRacing even if you have already done this using your own controller software. Prior to entering the sim, make sure you've downloaded and installed the latest drivers from the manufacturer's website. Once that's done, follow these easy steps to calibrate your controller. We recommend calibrating in a test session, so pick a car and then click test. Don't go into a practice or official session. The last thing you want to do is have you go on track and crash into another car. Once you're in your test session, click on the options button. You will then see input calibration. This is where your calibration takes place. Start by clicking on the steering button. You will then be prompted to turn your wheel fully one direction and then another. Make sure you place your wheel back into its centering position before hitting done. Now, you'll be asked to turn your wheel 90 degrees to the left. Make sure it's at 90 and hold it there while hitting done. For pedals, click on the pedals button. Here you'll be asked to press the throttle all the way down and then release it. You'll do the same for the brake and clutch pedal if you have one. For the gearbox, you'll first be asked to set buttons for sequential shifting. Once complete, a prompt will ask if you have a H pattern shifter. If not, hit no. If yes, click it and you'll begin to map the gears individually. Once you've completed these steps, you are calibrated and ready to go racing.
My name is Steven Corpenos. I'm a senior web developer here at iRacing, and I work on the beta UI. It's funny because iRacing is
Hello everyone and welcome to Apex Racing TV. My name is Ryan Walker and alongside me in the booth is Sam Fitzpatrick with Marco Barbanera on the cameras. Just quickly going through the grid for race 2. Pole sitter is Lee Deemer, closely followed by Steve Hefford in second place. And then behind him is Richard Hens in third place. Behind him is Max Wright in fourth. Next to him is Jim Flanagan in P5. And in the top 6 we have got... in sixth place, sorry, we've got Ron Moons. What did you think of race 1, Marco?
Fantastic race, great battles. Can't wait for this race 2 as the cars are ready on the grid.
Yep, just lights are just about to come on. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And they're away. Good start by Dima, closely followed by Hefford. Richard Hens in third place. Fourth place is at Max Wright at the moment as they head down into turn 1, and everyone closely close in the pack as we head through turn 1, and nothing major. Oh, car sideways.
Who was that? It was Jim Flanagan. Yes, bad contact there with the wall, I think. And scary moment. Everyone is able to go through. Also, I think Chris Wood is slowing down a bit.
Oh, cars off in the background.
Kari Jansen and Jamie Ayers. Wow, that was... and you see Kalinen coming out of the pits. Also, Woodburn is around. It's all happening. Oh, man, that was a very chaotic start.
Another
look
one
at
as
that in
well,
the background. Yeah, there's someone in the background. It's Woodburn again. Let's cut to the front of the race, and we say once again welcome to Sam Fitzpatrick. Hello, Sam.
Yes, and quite a dramatic entry to this meeting. Oh, and is that Josh Thompson just going down the inside? I think it is, because Jansen, of course, had that big issue, and Thompson, well, he found the outside currently of Chris Wood, and is he going to be able to pull ahead? Had much better acceleration in the end, and does move ahead. And he started in 14th position. I think he's up into the top 8 already. So superb so far from Josh Thompson.
Yeah, that was a good move by Josh. Yeah, that was, yeah, it's a bit early for Mayhem, but yeah, it's a bit chaotic in on lap 1, and yeah, we're not even made it through lap 1, but everyone just seems to be hitting the Mayhem button.
Yeah, been pretty chaotic so far.
Yeah, just looking at Adam McNally at the moment, they ran a little bit wide and down in P13 as we look back up towards Chris Roon and Chris Wood and P9. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, and Josh Thompson in 7th place, riding on board with him, and yeah, he is slowly getting through the pack. Current leader at the moment is Lee Deemer, closely followed by Steve Hereford, and Richard Haynes in 3rd place. So yeah, Hereford seems to be slowly. Oh, I thought Haynes was going for the move there. Hereford seems to be slowly but surely picking up the pace in this car. And yeah, last time out at Le Mans, he was having a good run until the last half of the race when he just started having issues.
Yeah, and he was very competitive at Imola as well. So we've got a little bit of a change of position between the teammates. Michael Blake versus Ronald Moons, and almost unsting a little bit. Josh Thompson is right on these guys and going into club, or is it whatever this corner is called? Down the inside goes Thompson. Oh, he's just going to make that very simple for himself. Also, Chris Danes very much in there, and Danes will also get that move. So I think that's 3 positions lost very quickly for Michael Blake. There's Hereford is really close on the back of Deemer, and these guys fighting is just going to invite the likes of Danes and Thompson to get involved in this one in a matter of laps.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Jansen also making moves, so we see. Yeah, here.
Yeah, I was just about, you just beat me to it, Marco. Yeah, Jansen making moves through the field. He's up into 8th place at the moment, and next person in front of him is Michael Blake in 7th position.
Yeah, so he's making very good progress at the moment, is Jansen, after a little bit of, well, I think he had a bit of contact at the start, but you wouldn't know it currently. As, yeah, Des Melcher currently running in 10th position. But yeah, Deemer's doing very well. Haynes getting very close to the back of Hereford now. But yeah, these top 3 ever so closely matched. And I must say, I think Lee Deemer's doing a very good job at the moment of staying very calm. But you can see this is going to turn into a 5-car during very soon. And Haynes almost looking for a chance into Chapel there.
Yeah, I was just looking back at the replay of Haynes on the entry to that twisty section. On the right hand, he took loads of right curb, the right hand side curb, and I'm surprised he didn't get a slowdown.
Well, Thompson's just got past Max right now. It's up into 4th position. He's made quick work of these guys so far, and he's got 3 more cars. Next up will be Richard Haynes, and oh, I must say, these top 3, are they going to be able to hold him up for much longer? Because you can see Thompson just so much more confident out there. He knows where the grip is. He knows how to drive this car. He knows how to drive any car, of course, as we've seen on Apex Racing TV. And, well, I must say, Ryan, I think this might just be a matter of time. He just needs to make sure that he doesn't get caught up in a bit of an instant.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before Thompson gets... Oh, as Haynes goes a little bit wide. And that gives the opportunity for Josh Thompson to go up the inside and up into third place, and next 2 cars in front of him are Lee Doomer and Steve Hefford. And I think it's just a matter of time before Josh gets by these front 2 cars, and because they seem to be holding each other up. And as we know what Josh is like, he doesn't like to hang around.
Yeah, absolutely. Haynes is unfortunately dropping down though currently. He's already lost a position to Chris Danes, who I think might be his own teammate. Next up is Carl Janssen, and well, the quality drivers just keep on coming, don't they? And Janssen, well, he might be able to have a chance into Maggots and Beckett's, maybe because just running a little bit wide there is Richard Haynes. A little bit unnecessary there from Janssen to move out, but we go back to the front because this could be a race decisive moment here with Thompson catching up to the top 2.
Yep, absolutely. But also, we know from past history in the BSR MX5 series that there's no love lost between Hefford and Thompson, and I think Hefford might be in one of those moods to he might not want to make it easier for Josh, as Josh has a sneaky look up the inside.
Yeah, nearly found his way on the inside there, though he's going to have another chance, and this is a much bigger braking zone. Hefford's going to try to keep it round the outside, and that's pretty good from Steve Hefford. It might not be good enough, though, because as they go side by side now through Vale, Thompson's got the much better run, and Hefford's going to spin it, and that could be him way down the field. He's only half spun. He's done well to hang on to it, but I just got on the bumps there on that curb, I think, Ryan, and round he went, and he's dropped way down the field, down into, I think, 9th position now.
Yeah, he's dropped down to ninth position at the 9th position now. So, yeah, that little mistake from Hefford has cost him heaps of time and a load of positions. And yeah, he's down into 9th place at the moment. And yeah, it's unfortunate because I was quite looking forward to watching that battle. As you look through the field, and Carl Janssen is now up in 4th place, and he's on the move. So it'll just be a matter of time before he catches up to these top 3 guys.
Yeah, Thompson would quite like to get this move done sooner rather than later, because Chris Danes and Carl Janssen are probably the 2nd and 3rd fastest drivers out there. Of course, Janssen in that first race, at least from what I saw, I didn't see too much of it, but he seemed to be harassing Thompson quite a bit, and I think we've got a spinner. Max Wright, I think, has dropped down the field. I'm not quite sure.
No, it's Steve Hefford.
Oh, Hefford. Yeah. I think it was Hefford, Blake, and Wright. All went together, I think. Quite incredible. We'll get a replay of that in a minute. But for now, we could get a change for the lead. Josh Thompson, 2 tenths behind. I don't really need to tell you. You can see the gap for yourselves as Josh Thompson goes on the inside interstate. And that should be pretty simple. He's gone a little bit wide. And maybe there's going to be an opportunity for Lee Deemer to come back. But you can see going into there, not quite there. Chris Danes is the next driver to make his move. And, well, he might even have a chance as soon as Abbey.
Yeah, that was a good move by Josh, but also it was good hard fighting from Deemer. He wasn't letting Josh get away that easy, and he tried to do the switch back. But yeah, Josh is a wise old fox, and he's not he doesn't let people try and get back by him that easy.
No, he's one of the best racecraft drivers out there, and down the inside goes Chris Danes. That was very nicely done, and he certainly feels as though he can win this race still. However, if Lee Deemer carries on doing that, then he's not going to have much contact, because now he's way wide, and he's going to lose a position to get Carl Janssen. But I'm looking as though it was going to be 2nd place. He's all of a sudden down into 4th, and well, I doubt Deemer's going to fight him too hard once again. Deemer down into 3rd, and Janssen will quite happily have those 2 spots.
Yeah, that was a. Yeah, Deemer was getting a bit feisty there when Danes went up the inside. Yeah, it was a bit of a lunge from Deemer, but fair play to him. Fair play for him for putting up a fight, and he wasn't letting Danes get away that easy. But what it did allow Janssen to do was to go by both these guys and move up into 2nd place, and it's only a matter of time possibly before Janssen catches Thompson, as we look at the replay of the Hefford again.
Yeah, well, I'm fascinated by this because I don't know how they've all crashed into each other. So that's right just ahead of them. Oh, Blake's gone into the back of him then, and Hefford's innocent party there. And, well, that's 3 Porsches all into one another.
Yeah, that was a bit like how can I put that incident? It was a bit like synchronized crashing.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Dima's nearly ran.
Dima's
He's
sideways.
saved it well. Well, he's down into 4th place now. It was a resilient defense, but he has gone from 1st to 4th in just over a lap now.
Yeah, I think he's still doing well at the moment. Dima, he's in he's in 4th place at the moment, and yeah, I think he's got a bit of a gap. He's got a bit of a gap behind him as we look at a replay of Carl Hardy and Jacobson. No, Hardy and I don't know who it is. Just ignore me.
I think it's Blake and someone else.
I think it was. Yeah, it was it looked like a result car or mobile car. I'm so confused. My bad. Yeah, we'll look at Chris Wood's running wide. Yeah, it just looks like he got in the marbles possibly and just lost grip.
Yeah, that's lost him a couple of positions. It means that Richard Haynes, well, he's still in 5th place, and he's pretty much had about 4 cars queuing behind him for the last 5 laps now. He's constantly been under pressure, but give credit to him. He's defended well, and we've got more cars on. Well, it's like sheep running in a field out there right now. That's quite a good analogy. I'm proud of that one.
I like that one. Fair play.
Well, Maxwell's gone into the back there. I wasn't sure who that was, and somehow more drivers have got involved as well. I think there was one more driver just getting caught up in that. And there you go, Michael Blake, I think, just having an incident of his own.
Yeah, I was going to say an analogy, but I don't think it would be appropriate for the broadcast. So yeah, we'll move on. As looking at Dennis Melcher at the moment, currently in P6. Behind him, he's got Ronald Moons and Chris Wood at the moment, and also our very own Apex Racing TV colleague Samuli Kumo. So yeah, close battle for P6 at the moment.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of Sam, at least in this race so far, but here he is. He's down 2 positions from his starting place of 7th, but also down 2 positions is Ronald Moon. So he's certainly got a chance here, Sam. And of course, remember, he hasn't raced that much in these past kind of year and a half, but you wouldn't know it because there he goes on the inside into bridge. He hasn't got the move done yet because he can go side by side, do a few corners here. And Kuma's got to be a bit careful. He's left plenty of room on the inside. Of course, one Finnish driver has done very well today, of course, and Sam Kuma should just about be able to pull that move off.
Yeah, that was a good move by Samuli. He set it up in the exit of that chicane and went round the outside and managed to hold it. And yeah, a good move by Samuli up into P8 at the moment. And behind him, he's got Adam McNally. As Heifer's in trouble again.
Another stranded sheep out there. As yeah, he seems to have spun it once again. He's had a difficult race, has Steve Heather. Remember, he was running up in 2nd place. Also, Cullinan lost it. Oh, well, that is proper synchronized spinning, isn't it? That is beautiful. And, well, Sheep couldn't do that as well as, as well as they did.
I think they decided to spin in something and have a bit of a complain if you want, but I think they wanted to have a bit of a twosome.
Well, I think that's one way of putting it. Anyway, Richard Haynes losing out to Chris Wood now, though he might still be able to make the move. What is going on behind? Is that Adam McNally down the inside? And he's nearly taken out a couple of drivers there. Well, he's also hit a bump there and another sheep in the grass. And Adam McNally back onto the circuit, but he'll have a big slowdown and maybe a little bit of damage as well. Well, this was ballsy, I'd say, Ryan. And yeah, speaks for itself.
Yeah, that was one of those. That was a bit of one of those balls to the walls move, and yeah, that was. I don't think. Oh, Adam is up the inside of Flanagan. Yeah, I don't think that was meant to happen. I think McNally just lost it under braking.
Yeah, he's desperate not to crash, I think, and well, I guess he didn't crash in the end to anyone else, but it certainly did not help him one bit, and he's nearly into the back of the driver just ahead, Jim Flanagan, who, well, he was spun, remember, in Cop's corner on lap 1, done extremely well as, yeah, the lights come out for him. I am disappointed we don't have Stuart McFadden out there today. It's reminded me of him for the first time. And yeah, he would have been a great addition today, but unfortunately McFlashen will hopefully make his return next week. We didn't see him at Le Mans either, so we'll certainly have to investigate that. But McNally still stuck behind Jim Flanagan.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking at the live timing at the moment, and it looks like they may have possibly lost Steve Hefford. As yeah, we look at Carl Hardy and Max Wright at the moment. As just looking at a replay of Hefford and just to see what happened. Did he just pull off and escape, or yeah, it's not sure what happened. Oh, he just stops, and I think he just stopped and escaped.
Yeah, I think pretty fed up with this race, and unfortunately he's not going to be eligible for the third race of the evening. Well, I mean eligible for the reverse gears. Jim Flanagan, he's just got back past Adam McNay. I don't know what's going on in this battle right now. McNay must have picked up another slowdown or something, because once again he's having to defend from Ronald Moons. Sam Kuma's got back involved in this one. He got involved in a collision a couple of laps ago, and you can just see locking up in the background Jamie Ayres as well. With Cullinan could even catch up to these guys. He's 7 seconds behind. I would not count him out, as wow, we've not got too much longer in this race to go. About 5 minutes left, and this has absolutely flown by.
Yeah, so yeah, I think.
McNally's out.
There's another sheep in the field.
We're going to keep on using that saying until it gets old. I don't think it ever will do.
Yeah, it looks like McNally just lost it trying to get back in the power. He did say he was struggling a little bit with the car being a little bit taily in race 1, so it could be the same issue that he's struggling with again. Yeah, I think he just tried to get on the power when he was on the anti-curves, and it just unsettled the car. So yeah, but luckily he managed to get going again. As we look at as we're on board with Jim Flanagan at the moment, with Ronald Moons behind and Samuel Kumo behind them as well.
Yeah, this is a properly good battle. We haven't paid too much attention to kind of the top 8 cars up there, but this is, the top 7 cars, but certainly fulfilling us right now. Jim Flanagan, he doesn't feel the need to go defensive, but he's a little bit wide, and that's not going to help him against Ronald Means. As yeah, Sam Kuhn just edges closer and closer. He's not going to get into an instant if he can possibly avoid it. Oh, he's nearly into the back of him though, and that could be a very nice move from Sam Kuhn. It wasn't a deliberate move, but he very nearly pulled it off. But he is extremely close now to the back of Ronald Moons. And heading into Abby Moons' round. And, well, we've seen plenty of issues with traction so far today. And, yeah, I don't really need to say it once again.
Yeah. Yeah, this was like Ronald lost it, getting on the power, and just lost some traction on the exit, and just around she went.
Just checking to see if there's a instant limit for it. There isn't an instant limit. Well, thank God for that one, because otherwise we would see half the field, I think, disqualified. Out in the lead, though, it is a Radicals 1-2, and it's been a Radicals domination in this second race of the evening, much like the first, with Josh Thompson leading Carl Janssen by 1.5 seconds. Janssen took a half second out on that last lap. It was the fastest lap of the race, but it's not going to quite be enough, I think, for him. With Chris Daines in third. Lee Diemer, we haven't talked too much about him. Well done to him. He stayed in 4th place, and that's going to be some very good points for him. Dennis Melcher under big pressure from Chris Wood. Both of them guys have been very solid in this race. And of course, then we go back to that battle with Haynes and Flanagan and Kumo.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to say it. Lee Diemer is having a good race, and yeah, he's drove well in this race. And I think if he finishes in 4th place, it'll be a well deserved result. As we look at the battle between Dennis Melcher and Chris Wood, who are teammates at Team Mad, I believe. Yeah, I don't know why I said that, because it's pretty obvious with the Team Mad logo on the skin. But yeah, close battle between them. Also looking at the battle between Flanagan and Kumo for P8.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Kumo's had plenty of issues out there, and there was nearly one more, and he's still fighting for a top 8, which would be, I think, possibly his best result of the season, apart from Le Mans, where he got 5th. But that was a longer event, of course. But I think this is the final lap, is it? And, well, Josh Thompson is going to take his second race victory of the evening. Josh Thompson takes race 2 here at Silverstone, and it was very impressive indeed. Raced his way through the field early on, and it was very simple after that. It doesn't look like Chris Wood's going to get Dennis Melcher, although I wouldn't bet against it because he has got a nice run out of the final corner. But through Woodcote, he's not going to be close enough, and well, Chris Wood's just going to miss out there. Sam Kumu's just going to miss out on another Team Mad car as well.
Jamie Ayres spun in the background.
Who was that spinning in the background? Sorry,
that was Jamie Ayres. Come on, Jamie, go.
And is there going to be an issue here for us? He's going to lose out. 1, 2, he might just get away with that to the line. And a couple of cheap positions given up there from Jamie Ayres. But he does end up in 12th place.
Yeah, I was just looking at the replay. It looks like Ayres just tried to get on the power and he just looped it. And as yeah, we look at a replay of McNally spinning again.
That never gets sold. But what a crazy second race of the evening that was, Ryan. So many incidents out there. A lot of drivers being stranded in that grass. It's a difficult circuit, this Silverstone track. We don't really need to say that. And, well, those drivers certainly demonstrated it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just that was a crazy race throughout the field. As the results are up on the screen, winner of race 2 is Josh Thompson, followed by Kalje Janssen in 2nd place. Chris Daines rounds out the top 3 with 3rd place. The lead namer, after a fantastic drive, takes 4th position. Dennis Melcher in 5th position. Chris Wood behind him in 6th place. Richard rounds out the top 7.
Yeah, and I think we can go to the reverse grid to see, what the reverse grid for this race 3 is. I would say it's going to be difficult for Josh Thompson and Carl Janssen to get another one too, but so far they've made it look quite simple out there. And Marco, I think it might be ready by now.
Yes, the wheel should be on your screen. Fantastic race, this one. So in race 1, we saw Carl Janssen was able to close the gap on his teammate Josh Thompson and win the race. Race 2, that wasn't the case, but in the end I was watching the live timing and it got closer and closer, also maybe because I think Thompson lifted just a bit. We'll see what race 3 will present to us. Here's the wheel, so let's roll it. And it is full -4.
So it's not Carl Hardy, it's not Max Wright, it's not Adam McNally, it's not Rafe Cullinan. So I think it's Anthony Jacobson then on pole position. He started 16th in this one, so he fully deserves it, I think. Got unlucky with the last reverse grid, and yeah, he'll be alongside Jamie Ayres for race 3 of the evening.
Very well, so I think it's all for us for this second race. I think we will be back in 10 to 15 minutes for the longer race of the day, race 3. 35 minutes with a mandatory stop on AVX Racing TV. It's the Porsche BSR Simmortal Cup, so don't miss it.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's gonna pass nearly 3 cars down that front with what amazing
Lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside as Trunkgate goes off. De Jong into second place.
I'm going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
I tried, there's contact though.
slide left of the racetrack. Chris Venner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact. He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Last year I was sitting at a desk as a sales manager, and now I'm official McLaren F1 simulator test driver.
So it's 1.4 behind.
This opportunity is huge.
That's faster than the factory McLaren driver, and he's done 6 laps.
Team racing allows multiple iRacing members to team up and race together, just like in real-world endurance series. Teammates can share driving duties, spot for one another, or be a crew chief. Team racing is free both to join a team and to create one. Each teammate races on his or her own computer from wherever they want to. Your teammates can be anywhere in the world, and changing drivers mid-race is as easy as a click of a button. iRacing features team endurance events ranging from just a couple of hours to 24 hours in length. So, if you fancy taking part in an iRacing endurance race in the future, you can learn more about team racing on the teams page on the member website. Before you can get on track, you'll need to calibrate your wheel and pedal set. You'll need to do this in iRacing even if you have already done this using your own controller software. Prior to entering the sim, make sure you've downloaded and installed the latest drivers from the manufacturer's website. Once that's done, follow these easy steps to calibrate your controller. We recommend calibrating in a test session, so pick a car and then click test. Don't go into a practice or official session. The last thing you want to do is have you go on track and crash into another car. Once you're in your test session, click on the options button. You will then see input calibration. This is where your calibration takes place. Start by clicking on the steering button. You will then be prompted to turn your wheel fully one direction and then another. Make sure you place your wheel back into its centering position before hitting done. Now, you'll be asked to turn your wheel 90 degrees to the left. Make sure it's at 90 and hold it there while hitting done. For pedals, click on the pedals button. Here you'll be asked to press the throttle all the way down and then release it. You'll do the same for the brake and clutch pedal if you have one. For the gearbox, you'll first be asked to set buttons for
Hello everyone and welcome to Apex Racing TV. you join us here for the race 3. I'm joined by Sam Fitzpatrick in the booth, and on camera is Marco Barbanera. Quickly going to go through the grid. Pole position is Andre Jacobson, closely followed by Jamie Ayres. Third place is Michael Blake. Behind him in fourth is Ronald Moons. Fifth place is Samuel Kubo, and in sixth place is Jim Flanagan.
Yes, and after a couple of 1-2s for the Radicals online drivers, we wait to see if it's going to be the same in this race 3. They are starting down in 12th and 13th positions. Do not rule them out, though, from that far back.
Yep, the lights are just about to come on. We've got 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we're away. Good start rather by Jacobson, closely followed by Ayres in second. Third place Michael Blake. Moons. Fourth place is Kubo. Oh, it's all kicking off. I don't know.
Well, Kumo was almost in the middle of the circuit there, and now he's almost off the circuit onto the grass, and he just about hangs onto that 4th position. I think Richard Haynes up a couple of positions. He's alongside Chris Wood currently as they almost make contact, and we've got a car off in the background, and also 2nd position. I think that was Jamie Ayres having a bit of an off, but that was Ronald Moons going off the circuit. It's all going on through that first section of corners. Not as many spins as we saw on the first half of race 2, as we see maybe a move for 2nd position, Ayres versus Blake, and maybe even Kume as well getting involved. He's right on the tail, and we've almost got a move very late on the inside, and that's nearly contact between the two of them. Chris Wood going around the outside. That was, I'm not even sure who that was, just going through the middle. Carl Janssen, wow, so he's got a fantastic start. Oh, almost in the middle there. Chris Wood just about hanging on. Janssen has pulled off a miraculous move there, and he's up into 4th place from 12th on the grid.
Yeah, that was a bit of a silly move by Janssen. I don't know if he meant it or not, but that was a bit stupid. Lunging up the inside and trying to make a silly move, just driving like a complete numpty.
His second move, though, up there was very good, as we've just had change the lead by Jamie Ayres leading the way.
Yeah, just looking through the field as well. It's close throughout the field at the moment as we look back at P9. Pit positions are changing, so it's close throughout the midfield as we look up at the battle for 3rd place at the moment between Jacobson, Blake and Wood and Thompson.
Yeah, I think Chris Staines was losing a little bit of time with a slowdown. He was falling down a whole lot of positions, and this is really important now for Thompson to try to make his way through this field. Sam Kuma, unfortunately, maybe that's a jump start. We've had a collision, though. I think it was Chris Wood, and you can see how it was Chris Wood because he's had a bit of a impact with the wall, I think. I don't know if there was another car involved in that one, but it does mean that Janssen's up into 2nd place. And here was the replay going into Cop's corner.
Yeah, just looking to see what happened. It was contact between Wood and Blake. Yeah, it looks like contact between Wood and Blake, and Blake moved over on Wood, and just nothing Wood can do, and ended up in contact between the two of them.
Yeah, now Michael Blake drops down into 5th position with Josh Thompson up into 4th. He's going to struggle to challenge his teammate. So you kind of see that a little bit of a sorry Sam Kume out there. And he'll be very frustrated with that one. 4-second pit stop, so I think it was maybe just a jump start for him. And right to the back of the field now. There's still Jamie Ayres leading the way, and wow, Carl Janssen's made up that gap quite quickly. Remember, Janssen started in 12th place. You wouldn't guess it at this point. He's still got a while to go, so he can perhaps take his time, but I don't think he's going to do that as he goes for the inside. And Carl Janssen has had a miraculous first couple of laps. It wasn't easy. He made a little bit of contact on the way, but he's already into the race lead.
Yeah, Janssen's got through the field really quickly, and he's already into the lead on what will be on lap 2 at the moment. And so a good start by Janssen and into the lead. And all he has to do now is just try and build up as much of a gap as possible to Ayres before Thompson gets by him, and just try and just build up that gap make that gap as big as possible before the pit stops. And it'll be interesting to see what strategy Thompson and Janssen do. I'm intrigued to see what they do.
Yeah, definitely will be, yeah, absolutely fascinating to see if Thompson tries something a little bit different, whether they are properly fighting against one another. Chris Wood, unfortunately, has had to go back to the pits. And remember, he was running in the top 5 only about a lap ago. Not anymore. He's into the pits and might get to the end of the race from here. It's difficult to say. I don't think he will, to be honest. I think he'll have to make an extra pit stop. So these drivers do get a faster pair. No, they don't, as I look at the faster pair rules. They don't get a faster pair. So, yeah, he's going to have a long old day trying to make up those positions. As Lee Deemer, who finished 4th, remember, in race 2, just gets past... can't see who that was. Kip Stevens, sorry.
Yeah, I think this is the first. This is the first time we've seen Kip tonight. I don't think he wasn't in race 1 or race 2. So, yeah, unless something happened with Kip that prevented him from doing race 1 or race 2. But yeah, it's good to see Kip nevertheless, and yeah, be interesting to see how he gets on.
Yeah, absolutely. He did decent at the Imola round, I think. I think he got like 7th place or something in one of the races. And of course, he runs the Kia and the Mazda as well. So doing pretty well considering that he's relatively inexperienced in this car. Lee Woodburn has had a bit of an off. He had a few offs across the day so far.
Yep.
Also, Sam Kuma. Oh, that was a nice save. He'll want to save that one on a replay as Jacobson continues to fall down the field.
Yeah, I was wondering where Jacobson was going there as yeah, Flanagan's challenging him up the inside and leave room, Jim, leave room. Yeah, as Flanagan passes Jacobson for P10.
Yeah, Max Wright just might make his way through. I've only ever seen one real life overtake. I think that was Lewis Hamilton in like a F2 race going for a move through there. Jacobson goes off the circuit, and that could have been a whole lot worse than it ended up being. And the pole sitter, well, he's down into 14th place now.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the replay to see what happened to Jake. Oh, Jesus. I wonder if it's a bit weird that. Oh, Jesus, that was so close to being a big accident. I'm not sure what happened to Jacobson there. I don't know if maybe his throttle pedal was sticking, or yeah, I'm not sure, but that was a bit weird.
Yeah, because he's just understeered off the circuit. It wasn't as though he was even trying to make the corners.
Thompson up the inside of
goes up the inside into the Abbey chicane, and well, that's 2nd position. He's 2.7 seconds behind his teammate Carl Janssen. So we should see the 3rd duel, which would decide it. It's currently 1-all as Jim Flanagan's had another issue out there. It's been a frustrating day so far for Jim, and oh yeah, that's not going to help his move.
Yeah. Just looking to see what happened. Yeah, just Flanagan lost it on the exit, and just yeah, just that issue of traction on the exit, and yeah, it's not been the best of evenings for Jim, but yeah, he's kept at it and just tried to do his best. As we look back up at the front at our leader Carl Janssen, just looking at the lap times, Janssen's last lap time was a 48.0. Thompson's last lap was a 48.1. So both these guys these top 2 guys are evenly matched for pace.
Yes, certainly. And well, it's going to be a tough effort for Josh Thompson to make up this gap. He's certainly going to need to do something maybe in the pit stops for a contrary strategy to his teammate if he's going to be able to challenge him. As Richard Haynes, where is Richard Haynes? He's 6th place, running very well. And actually, Dennis Melcher, having a superb race out there today, Ryan. Race 2, I think he got 5th. Not sure how he did in race 1, but a driver, he's having, I think, the race of his season so far.
Yeah, it's been a good evening for Dennis Melcher at the moment. He's yeah, I think this evening is probably the best that he's done so far this season, I believe. Yeah, he's having a good run up there in P5 at the moment, and I think if he keeps out of trouble, he could go on for a solid top 10 result.
Yeah, well, you also just saw a bit of a change between the Project 4 racing drivers as Jacobson has an off, and well, he's nearly right to the rear of the field. He's only got Lee Woodburn and Sam Kuma. You could just see in the rear of that shot. Steve Hefford, well, he's had a few issues as well today. He had was running very well actually in race 2, and he's up 10 places in this race 3, so certainly gets things move on, and he's not too far behind, maybe even a 4th position. Michael Blake is only 3 seconds up the road, so this is quite a pack now. You can see this is going to be a 6-way scrap for 4th position imminently.
Guys, if I can just tell you something, I was thinking about, if you remember, the Euro V8 round we did here earlier in the season, and if you remember, the fuel consumption is not very big in this track, so maybe Sam Kumo and the other guys that stopped very early, maybe they have a plan in mind and they want to go until the end from here. And as soon as I say that, Sam is in the pits again, so I will shut up for the rest of the evening.
Go back to your wardrobe, Marco. We don't want to hear from you anymore. Although I did actually make a point yesterday when we were commentating on the World Championship Grand Prix series, how part of our package at Apex Racing TV is getting strategies wrong. So Marco's certainly fulfilling that there. I don't think they can get it from here. Imola's also quite a low fuel consumption circuit, and they still had to pit with about kind of 8 minutes to go. So certainly it's open now, but I don't think it was open right from those couple of laps. As, yeah, Melcher and Danes. Melcher having to really defend at the moment. Can Chris Danes go for the inside into Abbey? And he will go to the inside, but this isn't going to be over yet because Melcher is around the outside. He's going to have the inside for the next part, but you almost just get squashed on the curb, and Chris Danes goes up into 5th place.
Yeah, that was a good move. Good move by Danes. He braked late, but he also gave Meltzer just enough room in the middle of the corner to make sure they both survived. And yeah, good move by Danes up into 5th position. And yeah, also it's been a good drive so far from Meltzer, and hopefully if he keeps out of trouble, all being well, you could finish there.
Yeah, that would certainly be a very good result for him. Of course, soon Richard Haynes might be able to follow through on Chris Danes and move himself up into the top 6, and cost Steve Hefford as well. Adam McNally, we've also haven't talked about him, up 6 places. Max Wright up 6 places as well, and of course they're all kind of joining this fight. And then we've got a bit of a gap, 6.7 seconds. Back to Max Wright behind, but I imagine he might be able to catch up by the end of this race if he gets a move on. Michael Blake's under pressure from Chris Danes now. So Danes is not leaving any time on the table whatsoever. He wants to get a podium potentially from Jamie Ayres, and if he can get this move done on Michael Blake nice and quickly, I think he might stand a good chance.
Yep, just looking through the field to see if there's any other battles at the moment. I think this battle at the moment is probably the closest that we've got at the moment, with Blake and Danes and Meltzer at the moment. So yeah, I think it could be this battle as well at the moment. It could be decided in the pit stops.
Yeah, that's going to be absolutely crucial, isn't it? If you were any of these drivers in this big pack run, would you pit now maybe?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I mean, if Danes up the inside of, or try to go up the inside of Blake's, I'm not sure what I would do, to be honest. I mean, if I was stuck behind someone that I knew that I was quicker than but couldn't get by, I would possibly try pitting early or pitting now, just to see if I can try and gain some time in the pit stops and just get some clear track. But it's always worth pitting early around Silverstone.
Yeah, and I wonder if we'll see a couple of drivers deploying that strategy now. Chris Danes would be an obvious one, but he's getting the moves done on track anyway. I don't think he needs any strategic help out there, because he's now moved himself up into 4th place, and you can see how close he is to Jamie Ayres, who I think has had just a couple of not so good laps. And you can see, once again, Jamie Ayres just not quite nailing Maggots and Beckett there. Into Chapel they go, and already down to just a second between these two drivers. And Jamie maybe not having quite as much pace as he's used to in this car. But yeah, still this battle rages on. Steve Hefford was under big pressure from Adam McNally, apologies, but has been able to resist that attack now. Of course, we've got this three-way battle just up the road.
Yep, just looking at this battle between battle for 8th place between Hefford and McNally. Yeah, also these guys are close to these other guys in front of them. the other guys in front of him, Haynes, Melchard, and Blake. As yeah, we look back up at third place man Jamie Ayres, having a good run so far as Jamie.
Yeah, I hope he's going to be able to put up a bit of a fight against Chris Daines, but it might even be worth him just giving up one car, losing the battle, winning the war perhaps, because I don't think he's going to be able to keep Chris Daines behind for the rest of the race. You can see how much entry speed there Chris Daines was carrying. Steve Hefford, though, with a slowdown, I think must have cut the Abbey chicane, and well, from running in 8th position, he's fallen a couple of positions now.
I'm just looking at a replay to see what happened. I think this is on. Contact. Two of them.
It was he actually waiting, I think, then for not sure who it was. Richard Haynes, apologies. Hefford still going base. So well, that's full credit to Hefford there for letting past Haynes. But now this battle certainly on. Fight for the final podium position, pretty much the B race, the non-radicals online race out there. And yeah, Jamie Ayres right under pressure from Chris Daines, with Michael Blake only just behind. He's very much gone with Chris Daines, and Daines has got to get this one done as quickly as possible. The Project 4 racing driver, will he go for the inside? Stowe corner, and yes he will. Jamie Ayres will try to hang it round the outside, and if he can just keep his nose in, he might be able to repel the attack going into Vale. And they are side by side going into Vale now. The driver on the inside usually has a bit of an advantage, but Daines is so late on the brakes, they should be able to round the outside, have the inside for the next one, and be able to pull ahead into 3rd position.
Yeah, that was a good move by Daines. He left Jamie plenty of room and managed to hold on on the outside and managed to get the move done. So yeah, Daines up into 3rd place ahead of Ayres, and who is ahead of Blake in 5th place.
Yeah, you wonder if Michael Blake is going to be able to do the same treatment on the Momo driver. Around this part of the circuit, it's difficult to go for me, but it's still possible in these Porsches, as Blake is just lining it up, taking a very wide line. I think this is it Luffields, this one? I think it is. And yeah, heading up to Woodcote now, but not quite getting much earlier on the power than the Momo driver. And I think going into Copse Corner, he's just going to be a little bit too far behind, but certainly looking very good right now. They have got a 5-second gap back to Adam McNally, but on that last lap, McNally was half a second faster than these drivers, so he is closing the gap.
Yep, just like, yeah, I was just looking back at McNally. He's up into 6th place now, so good run from Adam so far. Considering he's had a kind of up and down evening so far, as we look back through the field at the back between the battle for 16th place between Melchert and Jacobson.
Yeah, Melchert being able to pull that one off. So has Melchert pitted? Yes, he has. At an 8.6 second pit stop. So well, will he get to the end of the race? Oh no, he's not going. Yeah, maybe. Yes. He pits on lap 8, so he will get to the end of the race. So watch out for Dennis Melchert, actually, because he could still maybe fight for a podium in this race. Maybe not a podium, but certainly a top 5, very possible for Dennis Melchert. So we'll have to keep an eye out on his times. This battle is back on. And remember, Hefford gave up about 15 seconds just to let past Richard Haynes. Full credit to Steve. That is great sportsmanship. But I think he's going to be able to make the move anyway, any moment now. Both very stable into the Abbey chicane and heading into Bridge Corner now. Once again, Hefford not quite onto the back bumper, and the driver just ahead of these guys is Max Wright. You can see the different braking points there of all the drivers, and they are catching up to Wright, I believe. On that last lap, actually, they were a little bit slower than Max Wright, but on this lap, I think edging them their way closer. And yeah, just in the background as well. By all means, he's been pretty quick today as they all come into the pits, apart from Steve Hefford.
Yep, Ayres is in the pits as well, so Hefford will be up into P6 when these guys pit. So yeah, Hefford slowly getting back through the field, but also Hefford has to pit as well, so he'll lose some positions when Ayres, Wright and Haynes come back round, I think. As we look back up at the leader as well, Carl Janssen, he has got checking the gap to see what. I've no idea what my lifetime is playing up, so I can't tell the gap. But
2.7.
2.7 seconds ahead. So yeah, it's evenly matched between Janssen and Thompson at the moment. So yeah, I think this battle for the one is going to go right down to the wire, and will come down to the pit stops and who decides to blink first and pit.
Yeah, of course these guys won't take tyres, so you'd probably want to stay out for as long as possible, because then you're on lower fuel, obviously. So we'll see if maybe Thompson he needs to do something, doesn't he? Because overtaking around here isn't the easiest thing in the world, despite what these guys have done. They made it look easy, I must say. But Thompson just not being able to kind of chip into that lead gap currently. And they do stay out for another lap. Just seeing where Dennis Malchik came out in comparison to Jamie Ayres. He's only 1.5 seconds behind Jamie Ayres, so watch out for that battle. That one will be the battle for 5th position, I think, when all the pit stops are completed. And those currently are the two highest placed drivers who have made a pit stop so far.
Yep, just looking at his battle between, as Hardy runs wide. Oh, is he going to clip the... Oh, that was so close to clipping the grass. Yeah, I was about to say there was a battle between Hardy and Ayres. But yeah, I'm just looking to see when... I'm intrigued to see when Janssen and Thompson will pit. I think Janssen and Thompson are just trying to go as long as possible as Hardy dives into the pits and Flanagan's in the pits as well.
Yeah, so they'll fall quite far down the field. I imagine they might be around... Now they are going to be behind Lee Deemer and Richard Haynes, unfortunately. So they are going to be right to the rear of the field as Richard Haynes. Well, maybe they will be ahead of Richard Haynes because he seems to have had another issue up.
Yeah, just looking at the replay now to see what happened, and yeah, it looks like he might have just lost it on his own. Yeah, he just lost it trying to put the power down.
I think we saw Steve Hefford make that mistake earlier on. And Haynes certainly joining the club. He is still ahead, actually, of Carl Hardy, but he is behind Jim Flanagan, so that has lost him a bit of time for Richard Haynes.
Yep, just looking back through the field, Jamie Ayres is in 10th place at the moment, just behind Kip Stevens, who I believe still has to pit. As we look at a replay of Josh Thompson as well to see what happened. I wonder what happened here. That was weird.
Very odd, and he has just come into the pits, so a little bit concerning. I hope he hasn't had any pedal issues. We've heard him before say that he's been kind of limited to about 80% throttle, which has ruined his straight line speed. But hopefully he will get back out into the race, and yes, he is. It was a normal pit stop for him, and well, he's that incident wouldn't have helped him against Carl Janssen. And where is he back out on circuit? He's got a little bit of gap back up to Adam McNally.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just looking at. I looked at that replay again to see what happened. That was a bit weird. Yeah, as you say, Josh has said in the past that he's had issues with his pedals, so I don't know if maybe his brake pedals spiking or sticking a little bit. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he says regarding that if he pops in for our interview.
I'm sure he will. He never denies a chat with us, so hopefully we'll get a chat with him and, of course, his teammate Carl Janssen, who, well, it's looking like he's going to be able to take 2 race victories tonight. The battle's just coming down a little bit out there, but this one's still going on. And also Josh Thompson just making a move. That was very quick. He was 2 seconds behind Adam McNally, and, well, this is why he caught up to Adam McNally so quickly. Clearly going wide into Stoke Corner. And, well, he missed his pick and zone by quite a while there. Right.
Oh, he just rejoined right in front of Thompson. Yeah, that was a nice slide he done on the grass. He managed to hold that, but I think, yeah, he just carried too much speed into the corner and just ran wide a little bit. But Adam's still going at the moment in 5th place. So, yeah, just looking to see, yeah, also Kip Stevens and... Yeah, Kip Stevens and Dennis Meltzer are close together in the battle for 9th place.
Yeah, Stevens just escapes to the grass for a moment, and he has now lost that position. So it's probably worth him coming into the pits actually, because all this fighting with drivers, so he's not actually racing against for the overall for an end position. While the checkered flag is losing him a bit of time currently. Also got a lead Dima closing in on with Cullinan. I think Cullinan still has to pit.
Yep, Cullinan still has, yeah.
No, sorry, Cullinan doesn't need to pit. He's pitted twice as Cullinan. He pitted on the first lap, I think, and a couple of laps ago as well, so he should be okay to the end.
Yeah, I think excuse me, the only person or the only people have to pit is Janssen, McNally, and I'm not sure who else.
Yeah, Janssen, Danes, Blake, McNally, Hefford, and Moons. Also, Stevens and Jacobson haven't pitted as well. So a few more drivers to come in. And certainly that podium battle, not complete. Well, I say it's not completely over. It is pretty much over, unfortunately. Chris Danes has been able to pull about a 4-second gap on Michael Blake. But maybe 4th, 5th, and 6th could be a little bit close towards the end of this race once Blake comes into the pits. But currently, the battles are kind of fizzled out, which is a bit rare for today. We saw in that race the absolute carnage going on, but we have only got about 10 more minutes in this race to go. And still looking like it's going to be a complete Radicals Online lockout. And right now, Ryan, Carl Janssen is some 20 seconds out in the lead. It's been quite incredible. Fixed setup, remember, in this car, it shows the class of Carl Janssen and Josh Thompson as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was just about to say Janssen's got a massive lead at the moment. So, yeah, Janssen could pit right now, and he would still be back out in the lead, probably around about 5 or 10 seconds in the lead. So yeah, he could jump in right now and get fuel and still come back out in the lead. And yeah, I think it might have been closer if Thompson didn't have that brake issue, which is still confusing me.
Yeah, I think Thompson lost a few crucial seconds, and it's certainly taken the pressure off Carl Janssen as Anthony Jacobson just comes into the pits. So with Cullinan though, in he will move up into 12th position now, just ahead of Lee Doon. This is the closest battle out there currently.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see how much time we've got left in this race. I think we've got under 3 minutes remaining in this race. So no, I have no idea. 8 minutes left.
I'm a little bit wide, so and he might lose a position to Dima as Janssen now comes into the pits, but his one and only pit stop, and Cullinan has lost out now to Lee Dima, who's around the outside. Cullinan's not giving up, and he retaliates very impressively down the inside at Stay. And that was a proper wheel-to-wheel combat. Not sure if there was a little bit of netcode in there as well. But, well, that was a great opportunity for Dima. Hasn't taken it. He's going to have to line up another move in the next couple of laps.
Yep, Janssen just X'd in the pits, Danes is in the pits, Blake's in the pits, and McNally's in the pits.
Yeah, this seems to be pretty much as far as the fuel will go. How far behind is Josh Thompson? Well, he's quite far off the circuit currently. 4.3 seconds. So he's still in touch despite that brake issue. But I don't think it's going to be two consecutive race wins, unfortunately, for Josh Thompson today. Steve Hefford, well, he has stayed out. So maybe that wasn't the limit of the fuel. Chris Danes, where is he? He is behind Ronald Moon still. He is yet to pit, crucially ahead of Michael Blake, but not comfortably. So, well, Dane's having a little bit of a slower pit stop there. 11 seconds compared to 7 seconds from his rivals.
Yep, there's a car spun round. That is Richard Danes. I wonder what happened there, if it was contact or if he just lost it on his own. While
the 17 Joe is still running up there, he is last currently, is Richard Haynes, which is quite surprising because he was running in the top 8 early on and has had decent pace today. So a bit of a disappointing race, just had a couple too many spins. But this one certainly getting very interesting now because remember, Moon still needs to pit, but Danes, he doesn't want to lose too much time because you can see the drivers just behind could perhaps push him if he doesn't get this move done very soon. Moon should be in on this lap with Hefford just up the road as well as Danes will go to the inside into bridge corner and just about makes that move. That was very nicely done there from Chris.
Yep, that was a good move. Excuse me, that was a good move by Chris Danes. Managed to get by Ronald Moons as quickly as possible, and yeah, I think Danes should be up back up into a net P3 when Hefford dives into the pits, which Hefford does on the slap.
Yeah, so that really was the limit of the fuel for these drivers. Kip Stevens, oh please come in, otherwise he's proved me wrong. No offense to Kip Stevens, I want him to run out of fuel.
Ooh, McNally in the grab.
Oh, and he's going to try to go for a move now on Iron McKnight. Credit to Kip Stevens, he seems to have fuel in his pockets out there, and he's using it very well because he's managed to go one lap further than everyone else. If there was an award for that, he would get it. Unfortunately, there's not.
Yep, yeah, just looking to see where Hefford comes back out. Yeah, Hefford comes back out in 10th position, so yeah, it seems to have settled down throughout the field so far, or yeah, seems to have settled down in the field now.
Yeah, I think so, and well, hopefully we'll get a couple of close battles, but currently it's kind of just 2 seconds between everyone out there. Jamie Ayres might be under pressure from Dennis Melcher in the closing stages. Adam McNichols, Kip Stevens racing one another, but of course Stevens still needs to pit. And Cullinan still under pressure from Demon. That's pretty much all the battles going on. Maybe also Moons and Flanagan get a little bit closer to one another. But it's been a relatively civil second half to this race. And yeah, just a few more laps of the Silverstone meeting to go. And still out in the lead though, Carl Janssen, that gap is closing a little bit. It was about 4.5 seconds at one point. It's down to 3.7. On that last lap, Carl Janssen did a 48.5, with Josh Thompson doing a 48.2. But, well, yeah, you don't need to be particularly good at maths to realise that that's not going to be enough. And, yeah, going to be another race victory. 27 seconds ahead of every other driver, these two. Absolute dominance.
Yep, yeah, Carl and Josh are probably, from when I've watched, they're probably two of the quickest people on iRacing at the moment. And yeah, Carl Janssen seems to be one of those people that's just as we see Kip Stevens in the pits.
Yep, finally came into the pits. Yeah, he went very far in the race. So to be fair, Marco was about right. In a way, he wasn't right, but I'm trying to defend him here. In that we've got to about 5 laps to go, and well, yeah, he's managed to go very far in this race, but yeah, certainly pitting on lap 1 wasn't possible for them to get to the end of the race. As Jamie is under more and more pressure from Dennis Melcher, you might just stand a chance going into Vale. Melcher, with really good pace so far today, has a bit of a issue, I think. Well, I think he started quite far down the field, to be fair. Did Melcher, whereas Ayres started up in second place. But right now, not quite carrying the speed through, and Ayres actually accelerating away from his rival through club corner.
Yeah, it's been a good drive by Ayres and Melcher in this race. They've kept out of trouble, and yeah, just been nice and consistent. Nice and consistent rather in this race, and I think being up in 5th place and 6th place proves that they might not be in the quickest, but they've been consistent and just kept out of trouble, and yeah, they've been rewarded with it.
Oh, running a little bit wide there is Jamie Ayres, and that's not going to help him to relieve that pressure from behind. As the team mad car gets closer and closer. Of course, Michael Blake and Chris Danes aren't too far up the road from these guys, but that's not the battle they're going to worry about for now. This battle is purely for 5th position. Jamie Ayres just needs to make sure that he doesn't make a mistake. It's going to be into Stowe and maybe Vale as well. where the move could be executed, maybe even Abbey chicane as well by that time. I think Carl Janssen and Josh Thompson may have just finished this race because I'm not sure. I think this might be the final lap.
Yeah, I was about to say, we could be on the final lap, depending on where Janssen and Thompson are on track. This could be, if this isn't the last lap, then we've got one more after this.
Surprisingly, Melcher wasn't as close going into Stowe Corner this time. They are making time up on Michael Blake, aren't they? On that last lap, actually, they were a little bit slower, but on this lap, certainly making up a bit of time. Only 1.7 seconds between Blake and Ayres currently. So I don't know if there's maybe some fuel issues for Blake, but he has had a little bit of downturn in pace. But Ayres driving very well, not making any mistakes. Carl Janssen heading up into Woodcote. I think this is the final lap for these drivers. And Carl Janssen will reach the line.
One more lap to go.
One more. Oh, that was anticlimactic, wasn't it? I can't tell when the white flag is, so...
Yeah, we're just looking back through the field. Melcher still putting Ayres under massive pressure for 5th place, and yeah, this battle could go right to the end of the final lap.
Yeah, I think so. They have been given one more lap, and of course that could potentially mess up these drivers' fuel stints, potentially. They wouldn't have been expecting this final lap. It's because the Radcore drivers out in the lead have been so fast out there, which have forced that extra lap as Melcher will go to the inside here. This is not a conventional overtaking spot. Ooh. He doesn't care though, as he looks every which way, trying to get the cutback, almost contact between the two of them. And as that just ruined Melcher's momentum, because you can see he's just dropped back a little bit, and maybe that over-eagerness to get it done at Maggots and Beckett have cost him a chance of getting it done at Stowe.
Yeah, that was close to being contact, and I think Ayres compromised Melcher's exit a little bit, and I think Dennis wasn't happy about that, judging by the flash, and his Ayres gets sideways.
We don't want to turn our eyes away from this, but we are going to in a couple of seconds as Melcher goes back down the inside, and he is going to get that move done. That's a superb move. It's not going to be all over. But out in the lead is Carl Janssen, and this one is going to be all over. He took race 1 victory, overtaking Josh Thompson, and this race 3 has been a stroll in the park as he approaches the start-finish line now. Carl Janssen takes away race 3 of the evening. Still this one going on, and Ayres trying to get the cutback, and he might just have a chance going into Bridge Corner, side by side between the two of them. But just about Melcher hanging around the outside. Ayres isn't going to give up on it yet. He's going to try to get the cutback once again. Maybe a chance going into the final few corners, but you can see he's losing car lengths now to the driver currently inheriting position. And I think this is pretty much going to be a done deal. Ayres in 6th, and Melcher will be very pleased with that 5th position, and boy was it well earned.
Yeah, that was a good drive by Dennis, good drive by Jamie as well. As we look back through the field at Lee Deemer, wonder what happened here. Oh, as Deemer gets sideways on the exit of the corner and goes for a little spin.
We've seen that about 4 times, I think, today. It's very easy to do, and you can see how late on in that corner it is. I think it's just the combination of the rear wheel drive in this car, and yeah, the bumps as well, the traction, very difficult, and of course it is quite a tight corner as well. So around he went, and yeah, not a fantastic race there. Well, actually it was a decent race for leading. I think he may have lost out to Ronald Moons in the end due to that mistake. Just got Kip Stevens and a couple of other drivers to cross line. In fact, no, that is it. So we can go through the final results now. Carl Janssen takes away the race victory with Josh Thompson in 2nd place. And then it's Chris Daines finishes in 3rd, and Michael Blake in 4th. And it's Dennis Melcher, Jamie Ayres, Adam McNally, Max Wright, Steve Hefford, and Jim Flanagan rounding out the top 10. Behind that, it was Ronald Means, Lee Deemer, Carl Hardy, Rafe Cullinan, Anthony Jacobson, Richard Haynes, Kip Stevens, 1 lap down, then 15 laps down was Lee Woodburn and Sam Kume and 18 laps down, Chris Wood in 20th position. Hopefully we are going to get some interviews, and guess what? Well, I did not doubt him. I knew he'd come for an interview with us. We've got Josh Thompson with us now, and Josh, it's a bit of a unique race when you're as fast as you and Carl were out there, but still, it must be quite satisfying to absolutely dominate and get a first and 2 seconds out there.
Yeah, I'm a bit frustrated with myself, to be honest. I felt that I mugged myself off in the last race twice. Well, 3 times. I got 3 slowdowns in the same corner, which is a bit of a shame. So that was 1.5, and 2 seconds. So, and obviously at the start, Carl just got, it was like in race 2, I got lucky with the traffic. He got even luckier. Like, end of lap 1, he went from like the same place as me to like 5 places in front. So I was always going to have my hands into it after like being so close in the racing beforehand. So I just had to throw everything at it, really.
Yeah, definitely. You certainly did give it your absolute best shot. We saw a lot of drivers making mistakes with the oversteer in this car. Were you finding, similar difficulties out there?
Yeah, I've said and like suggested that we change the setup a little bit because obviously it's a fixed set. But to me, it just didn't feel right around here. It did feel really oversteery, and a lot of people can vouch for that. So, especially in the last race, I was literally putting everything I had into it. It was such a monster to handle, like the hardest I felt the car had ever been.
Yeah, it certainly looked very difficult out there for everyone. And just a little bit of a word for you, of course, the Shadow program over now. What kind of championships are you kind of putting your mind towards now?
Yeah, thankfully that's over. I think I got P3 overall on that, so I think I've got a trip to McLaren or something like that. So
awesome. Well
I'll do all right. That's why I did the last round, so I missed a race. I missed Le Mans because I did that instead. So obviously I did that to get the points to get the 3rd place overall. So that was quite good. But series-wise, I'm just probably playing around with this for now. Obviously testing quite a lot for the Road to Pro, which starts we don't know when because obviously there's apparently a new car on the surface and stuff like that. So the Pro Seat, I'm waiting for that. So at the moment I'm like on my own, taking a break, thinking about what I want to do. So at the moment I'm still technically with Radicals, but I'm technically not because I'm taking a break from them and just thinking about what I want to do for the upcoming future.
Yeah, definitely. We'll keep an eye out on any news that we get. And unfortunately, we've got a few more interviews, so we'll wrap this one up a little bit quickly. But before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, so first off, you guys, always great broadcast, as always, fantastic to watch back. Simmortal, Michael, thank you to those guys for just letting me run with them this season. And obviously, I'd like to say thanks to Carl as well. Just had a great race and hopefully proved I'm not a slouch in a GT car.
You certainly proved that today. Thanks, Josh, and
Thank you.
hopefully we'll see you back on Apex Racing TV very soon.
Yeah, see you later, guys.
We've also got the other Radicals, Joe. Carl Janssen. Carl, 2 race victories today. I've already said to Josh how, when you're dominating like that, it must all feel very good though to to win a couple of races out there today.
Yeah, it was a good first meeting for me. I have to say it was actually very fun. One of the most fun races I've had in a while. So yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, definitely. And have you got much experience in this Porsche? Have you run it much in the past?
Oh yeah. I've run this quite a lot, so I know a lot about the car. But yeah, the setup today was a little bit tricky, I have to say. It's it was like understeering into the corner and then oversteering a lot on the exits. So it was a little bit hard task to keep on track, but yeah.
Yeah, we saw a lots of drivers kind of struggling a lot out there. Were there any kind of hairy moments for you? Because we saw you in complete control for the majority of the races.
The biggest moment I had, I think, was on the last lap of race 2 into the corner after Maggots and Beckett. I don't remember what it's called. Josh were pushing up on me, so I broke a little bit too late, and then almost spun off. So that was yeah. Other than that, it was quite okay.
Yeah, and the start of that race 3 was pretty insane. I think you went from 4th to 1st in less than 2 laps. It was difficult to see from our point of view, but you seem to be making some pretty bold moves up there. That must have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was very fun, I have to say. Like you don't get to do a lot of these reverse grids when you're racing, official racing. That's what I like with this. It's very fun when it's reverse grids. Becomes a little bit of a challenge for yourself as well.
Yeah, definitely. And just a little bit of a word for Radicals, kind of what you guys are doing in the next couple of months. I think are you in Neo? I'm not quite sure.
I'm in the SEO car.
SEO, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're doing SEO with one LMP1 and one GTE car. And then, yeah, in the upcoming year, we're going to do the Pro Series. So hopefully that goes good as well. So yeah, after that, we'll see where we're at, really.
Yeah, it would be great to see some more Radicals drivers in that World Championship series. And before we let you go, any shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, to all our sponsors, Cranfield Simulation, Real Timing, Arma Centrum, as the Sim Race, MOATF Podcast, Turn Racing, Simmortal, and Six Sideways.
Thanks, Carl, and yeah, hopefully we might see you back next week. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think I'll be back.
Cool. See you then.
Yeah, see you.
I've got well, who are we going to? We'll try to get through both of them. We'll get Chris Staines in, and Chris, you must be really happy with that. I guess it's at 3 podiums. Sorry, certainly a third in races 1 and 3. Overall, you're kind of best of the rest out there. You must be very pleased.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm third, and third. So I mean, you can't really. I mean, like I say, Janssen and Thompson were just too quick for me. There was no way I was going to keep up with them guys. But first race was exciting because I thought they were going to take each other out and I was going to pick up the paces, but it didn't quite happen that way. But yeah, no, it's great fun, great fun.
Yeah, and in that third race, he had a very good battle with a couple of drivers. He had a bit of a longer pit stop though, 11 seconds compared to the other drivers 7. Were you just making sure with your fuel load, seeing that you had a bit of a cushion to those drivers?
No, I missed my pits. I missed my pits to have to reverse back. That was my own fault. Yeah, I just came in too hot and I had to reverse, so I lost a bit of time to Blake behind me. But I was carrying a bit of damage throughout that entire race because lap 1, I think I don't know who it was. Someone came diving up the inside of me, spun it, and then just clipped my rear end. So and then I got a slow down, so I had to drop back, and then I was losing a tiny bit of speed down the straight, so I couldn't really push. But I still made it in the end, I guess. But yeah, no, it was a good fun race, I must admit.
Yeah, and I must confess, I haven't looked at the championship standings this week, but you must be pretty close to the summit, I imagine. Looking very good for the showdown now.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking pretty bleak a few races back, but now I'm sort of starting to rub my hands together because I think I can, if I keep getting top 3s, then I should definitely be up there in the top 6, and that'll definitely put me in contention, put it that way. So I'm just do it race by race and see what happens. But I'm just enjoying it now. Actually, it's really fun. Like I said last time, I'm just not taking it seriously, and I'm having so much more fun than I was before. So yeah.
Yeah, certainly helping your performances up there. And before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
You guys, obviously, you always do a fantastic job. The stream, the commentary. Always like to thank Lee Deemer for putting on the championship, hosting this as ever, putting in the time and the effort that he does, and all the admins at BSR, and also my teammate Rich Haynes, Project 4, putting in the laps with me and testing with me, as always.
Thanks, Chris, and yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you later, lads. Cheers.
I think we're going to call that a day. I don't think we're going to have any more interviews, but we promise, Michael and Ronald, we will have interviews with you next week. But yeah, I think that's pretty much us rounded off for today. And yes, do join. I don't even know what circuit it is next week, but oh, that'll be good, won't it? That'll be very good. Okay, join us at Spa next weekend, same time, of course. Also, of course, probably the highlight of this week will be the start of the showdown in the BSR TC Pro Series. Will be very interesting there. Absolutely crucial for those drivers to pick up as many points as possible in this, yeah, I think it's 5-round showdown series. So do not miss it, and do not miss next week's BSR Simmortal Porsche Cup either. But for now, from me, from Ryan, and from Marco, we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you next time.